Hello everyone, welcome to our discussion on market equilibrium, a fundamental concept in economics that describes states where supply and demand balance each other, resulting in stable prices and quantities in the markets. At this equilibrium point, the quantity of goods that consumers are willing to buy exactly match the quantity that producers are willing to sell, and operating what is known as the market equilibrium or equilibrium price. Understanding market equilibrium is very important because it shows how various factors influence pricing and availability in real-world markets. When the market is in equilibrium, there are no shortage or surpluses, meaning that every unit produced is sold, and every consumer who wants to purchase a goods can do so at the prevailing prices. Market equilibrium can be affected by numerous factors, that including changing consumer preferences, production costs, and external economic conditions. And these shifts can cause the supply and demand curve to move, and leading a new equilibrium price and quantities. So in this video, we will explore how market equilibrium functions, the forces that drive it, and its significance in ensuring efficient resources allocation within an economy. Join us as we delve into the dynamic of supply and demand and uncover how they interact to shape market outcomes. So as we know, the market equilibrium is a situation in which opposing factors balance each other's. Equilibrium in the markets take place when the price balances the plans of buyers and sellers. And the equilibrium price is the price at which quantity of demanded equals the quantity supplied. The equilibrium quantity is the quantity bought and sold at the equilibrium price. Price regulated buyer and seller plans and price adjusted when plans don't match. So generally, if the price is not equilibrium, it's tried to be adjusted when the plans of buyers and sellers don't match with together, and price regulate also buying and selling plans. We will see these two factors in the next parts in practice with together. So here we have price for different parts and quantity of demand and quantity supplied. So as you can see, figure 7 here illustrate the equilibriums and the price at which quantity demanded equals the quantity supplied. In different prices, for example 50 cents, the amount of quantity of demand equal 22 at 50 cents. The amount of quantity of demand is 22, and here. But the amount of supply as 50 cents is here, and this is 0. So demand and supply in this case are not equal with together. At the equilibrium price in this case, $1.50 when we have equal number of demand and supply at the 10 demand and 10 supply, we achieve the equilibrium price when the demand and supply are equal each other. So if the price increase from 1 to 50 cents to 2, so prices increase from 1 to 1.50 cents to 2, and we experience the increase in price, the quantity supply will be exceed the quantity of demanded here, and there is surplus of 6 million energy bars. So surplus of quantity of supply take place here because we had experienced increase in supply from 1.50 cents to $2, and supply surplus take place. in the next condition, when we have experience the vice versa, and this is a way that price is decreases from 1 to 50 to 1. So price decreases from 1 to 50 to 1. So the quantity demanded exceed the quantity of supply, and we have excess in demand or shortage in demand take place because the quantity of demanded is exceed the quantity of supply. So again, if the price is $1.50 a bar, the quantity supply equal the quantity of demanded. And when the quantity of demanded is take place, there is no shortage and no surplus take place. Here, when everything are equal with together, when opposing powers in the markets are equal in the markets, and everybody will be happy. Price adjustment. Generally, we know that at the price above the equilibrium price, a surplus forces of price down, because here's at the price above the equilibrium we have the surplus in supplies. This surplus forces the price down. At the price below the equilibrium price, a shortage takes place. We know it from the past parts, and the forces of shortage forces the price up. So if the price is more than equilibrium, the forces of surplus push the price down, and if we are here, the price is below the equilibrium, the forces of shortage push the price up. So at the equilibrium price, buyer's plan and seller's plans agree. The price doesn't change, and even change demand or supply. So let's see it together when predicting change in price and quantity take places. The first case is when we have experienced increase in demand. As you can see in figure 8, when demand increases, this means that the demand curve shifts to right. And the original price, there is no shortage. So the price rises and the quantity supplied increases along the supply curve. So again, from the first part, when we have originally equilibrium conditions in the two demand and supply original curve. This is a demand original curve and this is a supply original curve. And the original equilibrium price is $1.50. Suddenly, an increase in demand takes place, and demand curve, as you can see, shift to right. So, in the original equilibrium price, here, 1.50 cent, we have a shortage because now the amount of supply is more than the amount of demand is more than the amount of supply. So this shortage forces the equilibrium price to up, and the equilibrium price is up to $2.50 new equilibrium price when or where the new demand curve meet the original supply curves in this point, where a new demand curve meet the original supply curve. Let's look at to the next scenario together when a decrease in demand take place. So we love this condition where demand equals supply. Here, this part, this is our original equilibrium price at $2.50. But what happened? A decrease in demand take place. So as a result, the demand curve shift to leftward. So the decrease in demand lead to shift the demand curve to left. And at the original price, now there is a surplus because demand curve shift to left and there is a surplus in supply. So this means that the amount of supply is no more than the amount of demand. So the force of surplus take place and get the price down. So the price falls and the quantity supply is decreases along the supply curve. And the new quantity and new supply curve is identified by where the new demand curve meet the original supply curve. So till this moment, we analyze it together and decrease and increase in demand. Shift the demand curve to the right or left. In this part, we want to analyze it together an increase and a decrease in supply. Shift the supply curve to the left or right. So as you can see in the figure 9, when the supply increases, we know that when the supply increases, supply curve shift to rightward to show this increase. So we love the conditions when demand equal to supply, and we show it by original equilibrium price here at $1.50. But demand curve, and it is shift to the right to show the increase at the original price. Now here we have the surplus because now the amount of supply is more than the amount of demand. So the force of surplus push the price down or price fall from the $1.50 to $1. And the quantity demanded increases as well, drawing the demand curve. And the new equilibrium price take place where new supply curve meet the original demand curve. Next conditions is take place when a decrease in supply curve take place, and decreased supply curve shift the supply curve to the left. And the figure shows that when the supply decreases, the supply curve shift to left bar, and original prices, there is a shortage right now because in the new point, the amount of demand is more than supply. So the shortage push the price up from the 1 to 1.50. And the new equilibrium price is where the new supply curve meet the original demand curve. Until this moment, we speak about just supply and demand, but in the final scenario, we want to discuss it together. When change takes place in both demand and supply with together. A change in both demand and supply change the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity as well. So as you can see, an increase in demand and increase in supply shift both of them to the right because both of them experience and increase, and both of them is shift to the right. Demand shift to the right and supply also shift to the right. Both of them experience increase. So the new equilibrium price is where the new demand curve meet the new supply curve. So the change in equilibrium price is uncertain because the increase in demand rises the price and increase in supply lowers it. And the final part, when increase in demand and decrease in supply rises the equilibrium price. Increase in demand shift the demand curve to the right, and decrease in supply shift the supply curve to the left. And the new equilibrium price is where new supply curve meet the new demand curve. It is important to remember that these conditions decrease, rises the equilibrium price, and as you can see, the equilibrium price is rises from the original condition $1.50 to $2.50. So the change in equilibrium quantity is uncertain because the increase in demand increases the quantity of the decrease in supply decreases it. Thank you so much for your attentions.